What if you woke up as a man in ancient China, and before you said a single word, your clothes had already told everyone where you belonged? It is freezing. You see a beautiful white fox fur robe in the market. It looks light, warm, and perfect. You reach for it. Stop. That robe is not for you. You have not stolen anything. You have not insulted anyone. You have simply chosen a coat above your place in society. So who are you allowed to be? Today, you are entering the Zhou world of the first millennium BCE. More precisely, our story moves between the Western Zhou, the spring and autumn period, and the Warring States period. These centuries were not identical. Power shifted, fashions traveled, and rules changed. We will not squeeze 2,000 years of Chinese history into one costume shop. For this experiment, you are not a king or a legendary warrior. You are an ordinary working man preparing for a winter day. Your exact life depends on your region, occupation, household, and century. But your clothing still leaves clues. First problem: warmth. Animal skins were among humanity's earliest clothing materials. In the Zhou world, a fur garment called a qiu could keep you alive in winter. But fur was not simply fur. The animal, color, finish, and occasion could change what the garment said about you. Fox fur was light and warm, which made it desirable. White fox fur was especially rare. An old expression describes collecting many tiny pieces of fur to make a single coat. In the Western Zhou ideal discussed in our source, a white fox robe belonged to the Son of Heaven. In other words, your dream winter coat comes with a small problem. It is associated with the ruler. By the spring and autumn and warring states periods, powerful lords and ministers also wore such robes. The prestige remained, but the political world around the garment had changed. You look at the cheaper options. Sheep or deer skin may be heavier and rougher. These materials could be associated more closely with people who had fewer choices, although elites might also dress simply on purpose. There is no universal price list covering every Zhou century. The material is evidence, not a complete biography. Still, the message is clear. You cannot choose only with your skin. You must also choose with your social position. That is because dress rules tried to make hierarchy visible. In formal life, a ruler, an official, and an ordinary man were not supposed to blur together. Clothing helped organize a society built around ranked relationships: ruler and subject, parent and child, senior and junior, men and women. Imagine entering a courtyard. Before anyone asks your name, they see your fabric, color, cut, and ornament. Those details influence how much respect, suspicion, or attention you receive. Now you face a choice. Wear the ordinary garment expected of you, and you pass without excitement. Copy an elite style, and perhaps you look successful. Or perhaps you look like a man claiming a rank society has not granted him. Ancient self-expression comes with terms and conditions. Did everyone obey perfectly? Of course not. Fashion traveled. Wealthy families copied elite styles. Governments revised regulations. People broke rules, negotiated them, and found substitutes. But a rule does not need perfect obedience to create pressure. Your second problem is the cloth itself. Fine silk could display wealth, refinement, and access to skilled labor. Coarser hemp or ramie was more familiar in working households. The difference was not merely aesthetic. It reflected who raised or harvested the fiber, who spun it, who wove it, who could buy finished cloth, and whose clothing had to survive a hard day of physical work. Look closely at your sleeve. A whole social system appears in the fibers. One man wears softness, created by many hands. Another wears tougher cloth, because durability matters more than display. Your garment is not only an object you own, it contains somebody's time. That is why this cannot become a parade of beautiful costumes. Clothing can be craft, pleasure, and identity. It can also be obligation, restriction, unequal labor, and unequal comfort. Then you encounter an even stranger idea. Clothing can carry moral meaning. Ritual writings describe the classic deep garment, or shen yi, through careful proportions, round and square forms, straight seams, and a balanced lower section. Later thinkers connected these tailoring details with order and proper conduct. You thought you were putting on a robe. Society may think you are putting on geometry, morality, and good behavior. But here we need an honest pause. Scholars still debate exactly how some early garments were constructed and worn. Written descriptions, excavated textiles, tomb figures, paintings, and later reconstructions do not always align neatly. So when you see our character wearing a reconstructed garment, treat it as an informed visualization, not a photograph of the past. Historical knowledge is stitched together from fragments, texts, objects, images, and scholarly arguments. By evening, what have you learned? There was no single outfit for every man. Your clothing depended on era, region, household wealth, occupation, season, and access to cloth. A court rule written for elites cannot automatically describe a farmer, craft worker, merchant, or frontier community. Yet social difference was rarely far away. A laborer's coarse plant fiber clothing, a wealthy household's silk, and a ruler's ritual fur did not simply feel different. They told different stories about whose comfort, status, and visibility mattered. This morning, you only wanted to stay warm. By nightfall, you understand that dressing anonymously may be impossible. Clothes still speak before we do. They suggest work, celebration, community, wealth, taste, and whether we understand the rules of a room. In many ancient settings, those signals could be written more directly into ritual, rank, and law. So, if you were a man in the Zhou world, what would you wear? Choose carefully. Tomorrow, you need breakfast. And if clothing reveals your rank, the food in your bowl may reveal even more.